Hello YouTube family, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm back again. I have another devotional for you. This devotional is entitled The Importance of Right Motives. And I'll be reading from my Bible, 1 Samuel 17, chapter 17, verses 20 through 40. So David left the sheep with another shepherd and set out early the next morning with the gifts as Jesse had directed him. He arrived at the camp just as the Israelite army was leaving for the battlefield. With shouts and battle cries, soon the Israelite and Philistine forces stood facing each other, army against army. David left his things with the keeper of supplies and hurried out to the ranks to greet his brothers. As he was talking with them, Goliath, the Philistine champion from Gath, came out from the Philistine ranks. Then David heard him shout his usual taunt to the army of Israel. As soon as the Israelite army saw him, they began to run away in fright. "Have you seen the giant?" the man asked. "He comes out each day to defy us. The king has offered a huge reward to anyone who kills him. He will give that man one of his daughters for a wife, and the man's entire family will be exempt from paying taxes." David asked the soldiers standing nearby, "What will a man get for killing this Philistine and ending his defiance of Israel? Who is this pagan Philistine anyway, that he is allowed to defy the armies of the living God?" And these men gave David the same reply. They said, "Yes, that is the reward for killing him." But when David's oldest brother, Eliab, heard David talking to the men, he was angry. "What are you doing around here anyway?" he demanded. "What about those few sheep you're supposed to be taking care of? I know about your pride and deceit. You just want to see the battle." "What have I done now?" David replied. "I was only asking a question." He walked over to some He walked over to some others and asked them the same thing and received the same answer. Then David's question was reported to King Saul, and the king sent for him. "Don't worry about this Philistine," David told Saul. "I'll go fight him." "Don't be ridiculous," Saul replied. "There's no way you can fight this Philistine and possibly win. You're only a boy, and he's been a man of war since his youth." But David persisted. "I have been taking care of my father's sheep and goats," he said. "When a lion or a bear comes to steal a lamb from the flock, I go after it with a club and rescue the lamb from its mouth. If the animal turns on me, I catch it by the jaw and club it to death. I have done this to both lions and bears, and I'll do it to this pagan Philistine." 2. For he has defiled the armies of the living God. The Lord who rescued me from the claws of the lion and the bear will rescue me from this Philistine. Saul finally consented. All right, go ahead, he said, and may the Lord be with you. Then Saul gave David his own armor, a bronze helmet, and a coat of mail. David put it on, strapped the sword over it, and took a step or two to see what it was like, for he had never worn such things before. I can't go in these, he protested to Saul. I am not used to them. So David took them off. Again, he picked up 5 smooth stones from a stream and put them into his shepherd's bag. Then armed only with his shepherd's staff and sling, he started across the valley to fight the Philistine. Okay, that's it for Bible reading. Now the devotional. Goliath was a daunting enemy of Israel, and a strong incentive was offered to anyone who could kill the giant. Money, exemption from taxes, and marriage to King Saul's daughter. Though these rewards would intrigue any young man, David was not foolhardy. The young shepherd had a different motivation for standing against Goliath. He wanted to serve the Lord. And so David called out, "For who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he has dared to defy the armies of the living God?" To him, a challenge to God's chosen nation of Israel was the same as defying the Lord himself. David was prepared to defend Yahweh's holy name and his people, even against this formidable warrior. It is possible for believers to seek victory with wrong motives. In fact, many reasons that sound good are actually selfish. For example, I'm tired of being in this mess, or Lord, I can't run away, so you'll have to remove this problem, or even if I had more money, then I'd give more to the church. At the end of the day, the right motive is a desire to follow, serve, and honor God. Life's Goliaths happen to all of us, and they can't either impede or strengthen our walk with the Lord. As he did with Goliath, God will give victory to those who stand strong in his name. Amen. Alright, hope you enjoyed the reading. Hope you got something from it. And until I reach you again, God bless you all. Goodbye.